Optimism is something that we need to train sometimes. and that optimism, that positivity is what we really need in order to be great artists, I think. I'm as self-critical as they come. But on stage, you need to leave that, you need to let that go. There's no worrying about the future, there's no lamenting about the past. There's just here, there's now, there's this breath, and there's this phrase. And we can just try to make it as beautiful as possible. And it's hard, it's easier said than done, but if we train for it, if we become self-aware to that degree, and we record ourselves, and we look in the mirror, we'll have a much better perspective to improve ourselves. But these are the kind of things that I wish that it was more a part of trumpet pedagogy, or music pedagogy, because these are the roadblocks that get in the way. We can talk about the proper way to hold the trumpet, and should you have flat fingers or round fingers, or what kind of embouchure do you use, and honestly you can figure that shit out on your own. There's enough people you can talk to. But practicality wise, the things that I feel like hurt or help our progress the most, it's not really about the technique, it's not about what exercise you're playing, it's about how you feel when you're playing. It's about what your goals are. But when I perform for you tonight, my goal is not self-preservation. It's not the maintaining a state of my ego that feels good about itself. I want you to have fun. I want you to have a good time, and that's what it is for me. I want to tell stories that make you feel good. And it's also important to remind ourselves with composed music, because with composed music, you got the right notes, you got not the right notes. And it's pretty black and white. You either did a good job of acing the music or you didn't. And so it's really important to remind ourselves that what's most important is making other people feel good with the music. Otherwise, what the hell are you spending all this time on the instrument for anyway? What is this all about? I want people to be like, oh man, that was so much fun. I love that piece of music. I love how, and in order to do that, when we're performing it, we need to have that intention of sharing joy, sharing enthusiasm, sharing the music. Or if the music is, a requiem or something, then it's sharing the profound sadness of this moment, but with honesty. I hope I don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up, don't fuck up. If we're coming from some weird ego-driven self-preservation place, it's really hard to actually move someone, to change their life, even a little. I want you to have a good time, but if you don't like what I play, I don't give a shit. I really don't. And that's very liberating. It's very, very important. I want you to feel good. If I can't make you feel good, that's fine. All I have the power to do is show up and do my best, and play with optimism, and play with a love for the music and a love for making you feel good. And so it doesn't really matter if I've got enough endurance, if I feel like I'm practiced enough, if I feel like I've warmed up enough today, if I feel like I've had enough to eat or had enough sleep. Either way, when it's time to perform, it's my job to make you feel good. That's why we're all here. So if you can get control of your emotional state to that degree, then you can have a good career. Or if you don't want to do it for a living, then at least you can make sure that every time that you play, it's a positive experience.